I helped with Sidok VA's corner with like male stripper dancing. That makes sense because he's male and it kind of fit his image.
What's up, KoreKara Scott? Welcome back to the podcast. So this week we talked to Kaho Shibuya, who's a Twitch streamer, cosplayer, and former JAV actress. So you might have seen her before on the Trash Taste podcast, but in this episode we talk about everything, including her experience working with Trash Taste, the anime man, CDoc VA, learning English, translating her book, Everything Girls Should Know About the AV Industry from Japanese into English, her favorite anime, immersion content, and more.
But you know what else there's more of? Smashing the like button and following us both on Twitter. Hope you guys enjoy the podcast.
All right, so Kaho, can you give us a quick background of who you are and where you're at today?
Right. My name is Kaho Shibuya. 渋谷かほと申します。最近は配信なんかをよくやってますかね。いろいろ執筆をしたりとか、最近歌を作ったりとか、いろいろやってて、like I do so many things and people find me on YouTube a lot, but I don't have a YouTube channel, so it's kind of people say me like I'm a regular everywhere, but I don't have a regular place for me on YouTube. But it's amazing that people find me from YouTube these days. Because I've been doing like so many different things, so people can find me from anywhere.
Yeah, and I think a lot of our viewers probably have seen you on the Trash Taste podcast, like a podcast about Japanese culture.
Right.
But I think one thing that's interesting is how you're at a high level of English. So to start off, like, can you talk about what made you study English and how you actually went about doing that?
I got interested in English in high school, which was pretty late because I think we already have like our education like at least in grade school, elementary school, but I never actually liked it. Or like, well, it was kind of fun just remembering all the words, like, dog or cat or that kind of thing. But just when it comes to like making a phrase or making a sentence, it just gets really harder. At some point it became kind of boring, or because I didn't really picture myself speaking English in the future. I got interested in high school and just started focusing on it, and I think now I get a compliment like that, so that's pretty amazing. But I did like start quite late.
Yeah, and I guess like kind of touching upon that experience going on the Trash Taste podcast, what was that like? Was it nerve-wracking, like, first of all, to give a long form interview and podcast in another language?
Oh yeah, definitely it is, but you just have to like wing it up at some point. Yes, it's very liberating at the same time. You cannot get completely relaxed, but you still like have fun. I love when my brain's working.
That's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to really make your brain work. This is
yes. And I want to like sound smart, right?
Right.
Like, I used to language learning. There must be like a bunch of smart people watching. So
that's right. You got it. You're definitely right here. This is a smart zone. We got you. You came to the right place. That must have been really interesting, though, right? So when you were doing that long form, was there any challenges, or was it fun, or how did it kind of go for you?
It was fun for me. I think people like try to like learn the language from their own perspective or in their own way, and my way was more like listening and trying to remember all the phrases. Let's say I watch a lot of TV shows, and sometimes I just recorded the voice of the TV shows. Like, let's say, it's a long time ago, but like an Ally McBeal. It's about lawyers, so they talk a lot and they use smart words. It's just sometimes you cannot really catch. It's really hard for you to catch as a beginner. So you just take the audio out and put it in an iPod, and just keep listening to it while you're sleeping or while going to school. I think that was the best way for me.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up, because that's the classic technique. We've heard it many times here on the show before. It's you have the one AirPod in your ear, maybe you have both AirPods in the ear. You're just going about like blocking everyone out. I gotta hear my words. I gotta hear my new English words.
Definitely.
Someone's talking to you. No, not right now. I'm immersing.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of immersion, do you have like a favorite immersion? Like nowadays, like is there Do you listen to a lot of podcasts?
I try to look more like movie reviews. I think I love when people are like analyzing things and like trying to understand why they like the movie. When they talk about it too casually and like use too many F words and just like not big words, and I get a little bit turned off because I want to learn new words and I don't really want to rely on the F words too much. So
Right.
I go for movie reviewers with like legit like analysis, more like.
Right, like kind of like you get the British accent in there too. They usually go very strong, long words. You get maybe documentaries in there too.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, so have you honed your analyzing skills too, Kaho, in English? Like,
Maybe like I talk about anime a lot, and not just like, oh, this character is cool, but also like why I love this, why I think it's amazing. So I need like all those terminology. So I could like learn that from movie reviews. Yeah, and when you talk, like, you want to mainly talk about the things that you are very passionate about. So it was much better than just trying to listen to CNN, because like most of the time I'm not just like, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know if I'm interested.
Yeah, we get that news out of here. Why don't we go put this to the test? You mentioned anime. I see Goku over there on your wall. Let's get like a quick like 1 minute review of Dragon Ball Z. Like, what makes Dragon Ball Z so intriguing, Kaho?
Well, at that time, like it was because of anime, and we got interested. I went back to the beginning of Dragon Ball, which was like before my generation, in manga, and then also like watch the reruns of anime too. I think the drawing, the illustration was very like a versatile, like it appealed to the kids too, and it appealed to the girls too. When I was younger, like JoJo was too menacing, JoJo was too intimidating, and it looked so manly, and that's like too masculine. And now like I kind of enjoy like that kind of Gekiga touch kind of drawing too, like Berserk is amazing, but something like Dragon Ball, something like Yu Yu Hakusho were not like too intimidating. It wasn't too. It was shonen shows, but it was inviting to girls too. So I think that was my reason.
Yeah, no, I could tell you've done all that immersion. Like, that was like, I was like, oh man, like I saw the entire story there. That wasn't just a review, that was a whole narrative. I was like, oh man, okay. I mean, you brought up JoJo, and I feel like I might get a lot of flack for this, but I've not watched. I've tried to watch it, and I just cannot.
I've tried as well.
I've tried my best. Everyone tells me this is such an amazing anime. It's life changing.
Yes.
And I try it, and I'm like, my life isn't being changed right now. Maybe it is. I don't know if it's like the right way though, but I'm sure. Have you kind of gone past that barrier, Kaho? Is like, so you mentioned JoJo being it's like better, but like, are you deep into JoJo now? Because I heard like either you're not or you are.
I think I'm moderately.
Oh, okay, moderate.
JoJo fan, yeah. Not like too crazy, because it's kind of hard to just focus on one show, because when there are like too many shows.
Do you ever watch any of these shows in English dub? Just for immersion?
I think I recently watched the latest anime series in English because it was on Netflix, and Netflix gives you a lot of like options, like English dub, English sub, so, and also at the same time you don't have to wait for 6 more months for English dub. So,
what are your thoughts on the whole Netflix adaptations?
Well, recently I have no interest in like a 3D stuff or real stuff. So I will come to the point in my life. Like, I only care about 2D stuff. I haven't even like watched that Cowboy Bebop live action adaptation, and I was gonna watch it because people just keep asking about it, or people keep commenting about it. So I was like, maybe I should just watch it because everybody's talking about, and I kind of want to join in. Then it's just ended, so probably one day. When you know the original show already, I feel like you don't necessarily have to watch all the live action shows. I think live action shows are for regular people who are just interested in regular actors, not voice actors or not anime. It's more for inviting people from the regular world who are not interested in anime or manga.
I noticed like there's a difference too, live action in Japan versus live action in America. Because like in Japan, they make it so it's for the anime lovers. Like they're all in their crazy hair and like crazy cosplay. But then in America, they try to make it like realistic, like you're wearing a very toned down type thing.
It used to be like that on TV, and that's how I got interested in GTO, Great Teacher Onizuka. They became popular with live action show. It was TV show. It was already a popular manga, but they made a TV show. And I think it was a trend back in 90s. The thing about Japanese TV shows, they only last for 10 episodes, 11 episodes, and that's like one season and that's gone. But in America, like Grey's Anatomy keeps going for years, so it doesn't really stay in your memory for that long.
Right. But the words do, right? You have all the medical terminology from all that Grey's Anatomy you've watched.
Oh, yeah.
But the bottom line here is that if it's 3D, that's not the right dimension. Like, get that out of here. All right, that's confirmed. I'm glad we got that out of the way. Like, everyone watching, they know now.
But Japan did make 3D Doraemon, right? That's made by Japan.
Oh, yeah.
I actually watched that.
But that was like people actually like cried over that show.
Yeah, it was actually not bad. I actually enjoyed it. But
that was the best episode.
Yeah, Eric felt like personally attacked right there. He's like, I like that 3D version of Doraemon.
That's the one good 3D show.
We're all accepting here. We take back our previous statement. We can accept all dimensions here.
Yeah, so kind of like going back to the topic of English, and recently you wrote a book that's in Japanese called Everything Girls Should Know About the AV Industry, right? And that's being translated to English?
Yes, that was published back in 2020, and it's been reprinted like every year, actually. So yeah, I got the third print too, and we've been working on English translation. Then we also have to repurpose the title or like the main theme of the show, main theme of the book, because it was meant to be mainly for women. Because if I wrote the book for a man, then I have to preserve the fantasy, but I want to talk more about the behind the scenes and the truth about it. So that's why like we called it Everything Girls Should Know. But
I see.
And outside of Japan, I think people want to know what is JV, so I have to like repurpose the book, and hopefully it's gonna be a good read.
So I guess like the goals for the book is different for the Japanese audience and the American audience.
Yes, they had to like cut some part, and they had to emphasize or like rearrange the order of the content too. It's been taking a lot of time because we've been trying to change the translation, or the editor like try to make me speak the crude language, right? I talked about earlier, like I don't really necessarily want to use the F word. Well, unless like you're playing game and you're losing, and sometimes you just you out of the word. But in the book, I use the F word as a verb to describe, describe the act of sex. And I was like, I don't know, like I don't talk like that. But the editor kept mentioning because it's the image. It's just how a lot of that kind of actresses talk in their book in the United States. So I think they're just trying to keep the trend. I got a little bit frustrated. I tried to change it, but they just brought up the contract, and it's more about sales.
So would you say it's more of like an introduction to what JAV is, or like a memoir versus a help advice book?
Both, actually.
Oh, I see. Oh, so it was like because of the contract, you weren't able to overcome and kind of put your voice through in English then?
No. And they kind of asked for the contract to be that way because they had issue with other like Japanese authors, and they told me that they eventually have to like just not publish it, or even like after so many months of translation and negotiation, then they couldn't publish it. So I think because of that bad experience, they really wanted the contract.
I see.
At the first meeting, they talked they said something like, I would take your thought into consideration. So I thought translation can be negotiable. I figured that's more like an American style contract.
Right. So
even though my managers are native speakers in English, or they're from the United States, but I guess.
I think there's another trend in American, especially creators. So for example, we talked to a lot of comedians in Japan, or even artists, and then a lot of them, they want to go more independent, like making content on the internet, because then they have full control. And I've even seen interviews where even in the AV industry in America, a lot of people just do OnlyFans because you make way more money.
Oh yeah. When it comes to books, you want the book to be very legit. So I didn't want to self-publish it. So even though that was an option, but the thing about making books, like if you self-publish it, you look like less kind of professional. So
Right.
I really want the book to be published by the publisher. That's why like I was like, okay, instead of self-publishing it, I would still want to go with that the F word bomb that I keep using. I don't know. I don't talk like that. Even my managers told me like, you sound like in this book, you sound like you're holding a cigar at a bar and with some scotch on your hand. And I don't drink, I don't smoke. So, and then the editor also told me like, well, in the email, he said her like Kaho's kawaii otaku princess image that doesn't sell. Like in that book, I guess he actually wrote that her voice, her high-pitched kawaii voice, would not be taken seriously by grown-ups, something like that. Like I really hated the phrasing. So.
Oh man, it sounds incredibly challenging, and I really hate that you had to go through that experience. But I guess moving forward, right? Let's say on the flip side, then what did you enjoy about the process of translation?
By reading a book, you get new words a lot, like maybe more from TV sometimes. So I have not had time to like read any books these days. So this was a good opportunity to get me back into reading more. That's the main thing.
I see.
And so that my viewers, my chat, I stream a lot on Twitch. It's 99% of the time like they speak English to me. So now that they can read what I wrote, so I really appreciate that.
You mentioned in your intro that a lot of people find you on YouTube. Have you ever experimented with or ever wanted to go make content on YouTube?
And then I like helping. Even some of the YouTubers call me fixer because I talk to the company like for the YouTube shoot, or I kind of try to coordinate the shoot.
Right.
So I like thinking about those things. Like right now, like I'm talking to like 4 different companies for 4 different content, and 3 are for the same YouTuber. 1 is for actually 5. I'm talking about like 5 different contents and doing like all like Japanese email exchanges, and 2 are for this female YouTuber, 3 are for male YouTubers because they got different audience. Like even though like, they share the same audience, but I help with Silk VA's Connor with like male stripper dancing. That makes sense because he's male, and it kind of fit his image. He like, I didn't. No, because what I meant is his content is about going out in Tokyo and like try something very like what's the F Japan kind of thing. Right. Like Trash Days. I think the other 2 like more talk about anime or what's happening in Japan, like talking about the Japanese news. Connor is more like experiencing things in person in Japan. So I thought like, okay, male pole dancing. Like it's very cool with Connor, because he presents himself as a Fudanshi, like BL lover. So that would definitely be great with like a very sexy male pole dancer teaching Connor, and it's like yaoi merry-go-round with the pole. I thought like, that would be perfect. Yeah, like I have so many ideas, but sometimes like this is definitely for this YouTuber, this is definitely for that person, and I like arranging those thoughts. So it's like I like being kind of like a producer-ish too.
Oh, I see. So you actually kind of came up with that idea and kind of presented it to Connor?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now I asked Connor like, would you be interested? But it was actually the first idea I brought up for Connor, but I never talked to Connor before that. So at first I just suggested, is there like a cute sweetie at the art cafe? Would you be interested? And then just like start with something cute, and then okay, Connor, and like, now we are kind of like more we know each other more. Can I present you with this idea that is more like kind of risque? So I just started like bringing it up more. It's over the time, right?
You're ramping it up. This is like the idea you had at the end of the tunnel, but you're like, no, I can't just say that right away. I gotta build it up a little bit, build it up a little bit.
They need to feel comfortable with me. Otherwise, I don't want to bring up that rental boyfriend idea or strip dancing idea. That would be too much, and like I don't want to come off like too creepy. Those content like I cannot make on my channel, even if I had like 3 million followers or anything like that. I cannot make that content because I'm not male. Like I'm not, If I do like a pole dancing, that would be just too sexy and it's not going to be too funny.
Right.
So I think like all those ideas are for like different content. I don't think I can have a lot of ideas for my channel, like if I had a channel.
Right.
So, yeah, because of those collaborations, actually, I've been going to like anime conventions.
Oh.
People who come to my booth have been greatly changed or kind of expanded because of that collaboration. That's amazing. I see teenagers and I see more girls at my booth. It used to be like almost like an old male, like definitely like a older because they have to be kind of mature to adapt my content back then.
Right.
So now it's been like changing, expanding, and I love it.
Is there any content that you have in mind that you've thought about that you want some content creator to make that's like an ambitious idea type of thing?
I have probably done or doing most of them. Yeah, I cannot really think of anything right now. Sometimes it just come up like, oh, look, this would be great, and then start making one. It just come to me sometimes. So, but I am like working on 5 different ideas right now. So hopefully we can all record them in September, next month.
That's gonna be fun. A lot of stuff coming through. But Kaho, I think it might just be that time. For the KoreKara message. So Kaho, I know you've been on a long journey here.
Okay.
And I know that you've gone through so much. You've been living in Japan, you've gone overseas, you've gone everywhere, you've wrote a book, you've been on Twitch, you've been on other YouTube channels, and I know throughout that entire time you've been working on this one message, something so comprehensive, something so amazing, something so introspective for the KoreKara squad here. So I'm gonna go and put you on the spot here, Kaho. The lights are shining bright onto you right here for your KoreKara message. So let's hear it.
Wow. Oh my god, you made me. I thought it was just like, oh, thank you so much for watching, or smash buttons here.
That's not how we do things here.
Retweet or just like, what?
Well, you do have to like it. You do have to smash that.
You do have to smash like button.
You do have to like it and subscribe to KoreKara podcast. Definitely. That's like a requirement. I know like everyone's like studying a language, like another language, or maybe like 2 or more. I know studying Japanese must be hard. Like, I'm glad I'm native, like I don't have to study language. Especially, I think writing and reading probably the hardest part. Because just we have like 3 different types of letters. But because of that, this language, like Japanese, you can read way faster than any other languages. Most of the languages, all same letters, are kind of hard to just take in kind of hard to grasp the message by just looking at the paraphrase. However, in Japanese, when you just look at the Discord message here, and then you can just instantly grasp the whole idea. Oh, they want to play a game together tonight. It's so hard to take in the information with one side, and I think that's the beauty, or at least like that's the best thing about knowing Japanese. You can just get the information so instantly. So yeah, I hope you get to do that too. It's very liberating. Aside from that, I guess there are a lot of things in Japan that are unspoken. Like there are a lot of unspoken rules, and it must come harder for non-Japanese, because if they're not speaking about it, then how do I know? And you have to kind of dig in, and you have to ask questions, and they don't do that in Japan. It's like you have to read the room. Like it's all about just get it, but without asking about it. And I hope they change that, especially for non-Japanese people, and just make things easier for non-Japanese people. It is a homogeneous society, but I want you guys to spice up Japan, definitely. And Japan is known to take other cultures and just kind of integrate it and make kind of things in Japanese way. Like they are good at adapting other ideas. So I really hope that Japan expand. But for that, we really need like more non-Japanese people getting interested in Japanese or talking to us Japanese people. I really appreciate everyone studying the Japanese language. We are in this together. Let's go. So keep watching KoreKara podcast.
Wait, but before you leave, make sure to watch our interview with Dogen, where we talked about his personal story and how he learned Japanese. Peace.